is on the board. You can never win. Try not to begin. That said, please don't come find me. Why don't you people try spending some of your time thinking of something else besides tearing others down? You can never win. Get under my skin. Can't say you didn't warn me once, and I thank you all for that. You can try to hurt me, but you don't hurt anymore. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion and suffer fools of your own. I never wanted life to be someone else's broken mirror, forfeit a reflection of my own. I could never win, why would I begin? But you're welcome to keep drinking that poison. Down, 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 down. And I thank you all for that. You can try to hurt me, but you don't hurt anymore. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion and suffer fools of your own. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. And I thank you all for that. You can try to hurt me, but you don't hurt anymore. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion and suffer fools of your own. And I thank you all for that. You can try to hurt me, but you don't hurt anymore. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion and suffer fools of your own.
So this is how we end up. Shades of blue and gray. I feel just like an empty bottle. My dreams are on delay. I just wanna climb on top of a hill and throw it all away, away. Take me far away before my mind spins off and I am all derailed, derailed. Just drive all the way to the rainbow's end. Just drive, and we'll never turn our backs again. I belong to you.
I belong to you.
Do just what you want. You're the one I trust, and I always be around when I need some loving, baby. No one else.
Yeah.
Let you down.
Let you down. Playing all my melodies.
Take me to your heart.
I belong to you.
Take me to your soul. No one else. Let you down.
Playing all my melodies.
Yo, what's up? Are you there, Patrick? I think you're muted on your end.
Yo!
Patrick goes out for like a week and a half and he doesn't remember all the buttons. Wasn't this guy this time. That's all I'm gonna say. How you doing, Patrick? I missed you. Missed
I'm
you.
good, man. I missed you too, man.
I was having
Too, man.
Patrick withdrawals.
But I heard Melissa did a great job
Yeah,
last week.
yeah.
In the live stream. I'll have to go and
Let us know in the chat
Watch
if you
it.
liked the live stream with Melissa. I thought it was great.
yeah.
I like my little mute button. My allergies are like for the last couple weeks have been bad. So welcome everyone. Look at that. Everyone's saying they loved it. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
Class
yeah.
said it was cool. Kevin,
More
it was
Melissa.
great.
More Melissa.
Alex, linked, loved, more Melissa. Nice. That's good. So, but yeah, good to have you back. I did have Patrick withdrawal, so I'm not gonna lie. So,
It was for me. It was a lot. Oh,
yeah. Little detached a little bit.
a little bit.
Matthew.
A little bit.
Wait, Melissa looks so different
What did
this
he
week.
say?
Yeah. Melissa.
She got a tan.
She
got a
cut her
tan.
hair. She cut her hair.
She got a tan.
So welcome everyone. It's Saturday morning here in the U.S. We're happy to see everyone there. So I saw we've been chatting a little bit. Patrick and I have been catching up. First time I've talked to him in a week and a half was a couple hours ago, and we were talking. And I was talking to some other folks too, just about missing traveling and whatnot. I saw Ben Watt in the chat, and just an example of like traveling at conferences and meeting people. And I remember the first time I met Ben was, I want to say it was at a bar, that's for sure. But I want to say it was at the Power BI World Tour in Denmark, I think, if I'm correct. I think that's what it was. So yeah, it was, Copenhagen. Yeah. See, there he is. Yeah. See, I remembered. Oh, I remember it was, yeah, it was definitely in Europe. That was for sure. But yeah, it was Copenhagen. Yeah, it was a good time. Oh, Matthias was there too. Nice. I don't know if we were drinking though. So yeah, I do miss Copenhagen too, Matthew. All right. So we are ready to go. Patrick, you're ready, right? That's good.
Yes, good. I'm ready.
All right. So first off, just huge shout out to all the members of Guy in a Cube. You guys help support what we do here. Very much appreciated. If you see folks with a green name, they are members of the channel. Just shout out to all of you, just helping us do what we do, take things to the next level. We love that. So thank you for that. If you are new here to either Guy in a Cube or the live stream, put hashtag new in the chat. We like to see all the new faces. And just to say hi and see all of those new folks that are out there. I'm always surprised. Oh my God, Patrick! Patrick, I will tell you. Crystal tells me, or Chatmaster C tells me every time you get close to the camera, that's where she sees like all the high quality. And she says you move to the I don't really watch you, but she says you move towards the camera all the time. All right, look at all these new people. Anton, Jennifer, Yolta, Jason, Matthew, Yosef, first time joining one of our live sessions. Thank you so much. Chewy's old, Kendall's old, I'm old.
Oh, she said pores, nose hairs.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Miguel's new. Welcome. Oh. Yes, someone buy him glasses. Seriously, the chat is a little small. I can't make it bigger though. There's only so much. We need a 49-inch monitor reflection prompter thing for the camera to.
It's all right. It's all right. I just it was something Thomas said about slowly changing, and I keep promising it, but I'm recording it today. Thomas, I'm recording it today.
Yes.
It was a fail on my part.
Yeah. It was
a fail on my part. It was supposed to come out this week, and
this coming Wednesday.
I put
but
all the demos. Yeah,
you didn't.
I
record
put all
it.
the demos and everything together, but I forgot one thing. I didn't record the video.
Yes.
So before I left, so it is coming up.
Yes. All right. So thank you for all the new folks. Good to see you. So. For the new folks and for everyone that's been here before, just a quick reminder, put Q: in front of your question to get them queued up. Chatmaster C is standing by to get those queued up. Please do not repeat the question. One time is enough. We get to as many questions as we can. First 30 minutes will be open chat. Next 30 minutes will be member-only chat for the folks with the green or the blue, which are the moderators. And the moderators have the ability to put someone in a timeout. We have a 3 strikes rule. And so after the third time, if you keep repeating your question, you will get put in a timeout. Also, if you're rude or anything like that, like the moderators have the power. Patrick does too, but he doesn't use it. So it's all good. Klaus, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated, buddy. All right. Are we ready? Are you ready?
Yes, let's go.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go, Matthias. First question of the day. Q is pretty light, though, also, so get your questions in. All right. Is there a smarter way to have a slicer with measures other than references to a disconnected slicer with if and selected value, which seems somehow time-consuming to build? I think we talked about it. So Mark, man, already in the chat. Calc groups. That is a way, but I still think you need a disconnected table to do that, don't you?
Well, it's going to create the calc group, right? Yeah. And so it's still very similar. I can't think of any other way to do it. You can, I don't know. I don't think there's a better way.
Yeah, I was sitting
Ideas.
up there. Ideas.powerbi.com. Yeah, Matthias, I think you're on the right track. We don't have a better answer for you. It's disconnected tables are definitely a way to do it. You got to wire it up though, so yeah. Sorry. So let's see here. Jedwig. If I want to duplicate one of the tables, is it better to do it in Power Query, reference, or duplicate query, or as a calculated table in DAX already in Power BI Desktop? Whew. So first, before Patrick goes off on this, you know what I'm going to say, right?
It depends.
It depends. It depends. So.
It depends.
Yeah. So,
well, but I want to say, go ahead. Go ahead.
You go.
No,
you've been gone, man. You got a lot to say. You need to talk. So
I want to ask a question, and you can't answer it. Why are you duplicating the table? That's the very first thing. That was my question. Also, is like, why do we need to do that? Yeah. Look, that's where I was going. Kevin said it. Kevin was like, "Why dupe the table? Why are you duping the table?" That's the first thing I'm going to think about. Is what question are you trying to answer, or what problem are you going to solve that requires you duplicating the table? That you can't just create an inactive relationship or use treat as or something else to get the data out of that table a different way. I'm just curious. But yeah, you can, if it was me, I wouldn't duplicate it in DAX. I would try to figure out a way to do it at the source first. If I really needed that table, I would do it at the source. If I can't, then I would do it in Power Query, which is going to affect your refresh. Then I would do it in DAX. So it just depends on what you're trying to solve.
So I was thinking in my head, I'm like, wait, Matthew always has a quote, and for some reason I never remember it. And then I saw like he already put it in the chat, and I love it. As far upstream as possible, as far downstream as necessary. I love that quote. I love that.
Cheers, Matthew. That's a great quote.
Yes. So the so then yes. So if you don't have the source, you could do it in Power Query, I guess, if you need to. Calculated tables, just understand the overhead of that too, right? And so if you have to do it, there are things that occur. So like think of like a refresh. There are steps that happen when you do a refresh. It's going to go pull data from the source, and then calculated tables get done like after all of that is done, right? All the overhead processing happens. So you're putting all that burden on the Power BI side as opposed to pushing it back to some other source that could maybe handle it. So those are things to think about in terms of performance. If it's a small model, like what we say is like probably it's not going to matter. But if you end up scaling, it becomes a big issue.
Yeah, and then in regards to reference and duplicate, if you reference it, whatever you do to the query that's being referenced, it's gonna affect that duplicate. When you do the reference in Power Query, and if you duplicate it, now you're doing a whole another table with lots of other different refreshes. So there's some other things to think about there that you just got to be careful of. And I would say Go ahead.
Play around with the inactive relationships and do it with measures and see if we can avoid that duplicate table. So,
yeah. Susan made a good point, and I've yet to watch this video, Susan, about the video that Alberto did of considering, Power Query and DAX. So I'm sure it's probably spot on. Probably should go watch it, but I honestly haven't watched it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So Gavin, thanks for becoming a member. Sedge, thank you for becoming a member as well. And then also, where did the Robert? Robert, thank you so much for the super chat. And he just said thanks for all the content we put out. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. All right. Let's see here. Going back to the queue. Yosef, where are we? I'm using the aggregate table. All right, he's speaking your language, Patrick, to query data at scale. Love it. Everything is working fine when I group by a dim table in my data set, though I have a few columns in my fact table that I need to aggregate by. This screams to me that if we have columns in our fact table that we need to aggregate by, why are they in the fact
There's
table?
Something wrong with your model.
Why are they in the fact table?
Your model. Yeah. And so if it's in the fact table, are you doing a direct query on the fact? I'm assuming thanks. I'm assuming that the fact table is in direct query mode since you're doing an aggregate and your aggregates are in import mode. That's my assumption if you set up your aggregation that way. But then because it's in direct query mode, that aggregate that you're trying to hit that's in the fact table, it's not imported, so it's got to go direct query. So it'll never perform. And so you'd have to create an aggregate off your fact table, including that column, and then configure it as an aggregate on that direct query table to make it work. But let's go all the way back to what Adam said. Why is that column that you're trying to aggregate on your fact table? Couldn't it just be a key off to a dimension? Go ahead.
So Mark had a comment. He said sometimes fact tables have degenerate dimensions. Yeah. Why? But for the example of sales order number, though, why are we? I don't know. If
it's a degenerate dimension, then you have to treat it as such, right? You'll have to treat it like a dimension, put it in dual mode, and do some aggregates that way. It doesn't change just because my fact table is degenerate, right? It needs to be treated like any other dimension, and then you would build it up like you would build up any other kind of aggregate, whether it's with a relationship or not a relationship. If you don't use a relationship, you got to specify the group by on the when you configure the aggregate. But it should. Who asked this? Yosef. Yeah. It should totally work. It should still work. You just got to build an aggregate up that's going to be in dual mode. I mean, in import mode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Patrick
All right.
Speaks volumes, but actually not saying a word.
So Jason had two. I'm going to pull one. Hopefully I pulled the most important one. With direct query, do you still recommend splitting into a data set and report when publishing to a workspace app? So the idea of shared data sets, if we're doing direct query, does that approach still apply?
I would say
yes.
I'm gonna say, why wouldn't you use a shared data set? That's the bigger question, I think. If regardless if it's direct query, composite models, or whatever it is, you have one model to rule them all, if you can, and then you reference it. You use it. I think, right? Yeah, I don't think you would. Don't think it changes anything.
No, I mean it also depends on how you want to work with it. So, but if you identify that this in general, so ignore direct query. If you identify that, hey, there's value in having this as a shared data set somewhere else because I'm going to reuse it in places, go for it. I don't think whether it's direct query or import really matters there.
Nope.
Now, in general, if you're just doing 100% direct query, I would just pause there and really ask yourself, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
So that would be more of the question, not whether or not it's a shared data set. So
yeah, that has come up so much.
Yeah. Good question. Matthew's on a tirade. I see. And so is Chatmaster C. I'm seeing people. Please put a Q colon in front of your question. Like it's been repeated. It's tagged to the board. Please. All right. And then Yolita, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Alexandre, I was wondering if you use calc groups in a filter on a visual and another filter on the same visual for a top end, does the calc item apply to the measure used in the top end filter too? This is a great example, and I know Patrick's scratching his head. I know what he's thinking. This is a great example of we have to try it. I've never done it. Not sure. So I would try it. And I would ask you, have you tried it? What'd it do? And then this is also an area too, like when Patrick and I look at this and we're trying it, the things that we do to try and understand like what something's doing is we'll slap DAX Studio on it as well and do all queries and actually see like what's the query actually doing and going back on those items. So I would challenge you to try it.
It's in the context, right? It's in that filter context. So I'm guessing, yeah. but I haven't tried it. So,
yeah. So we'd have to try it. And you don't have anything you could easily set that up and try it, do you? I don't know. Maybe we'll
X-Files as soon as
maybe we'll come back to that. Also, I do want to call this out because this comes up every once in a while. Where is it? Oh my gosh, I saw it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Are you ready for this, Patrick? Because I know you didn't spot it in the chat.
I'm ready. I did not. So last week, just a true story. I can't make this up. We're at dinner or lunch, wherever we were. I was probably a little, tipsy, and several people came up and were like, "Do you know who you look like? Do you realize who you look like?" I'm like, Patrick LeBlanc. And they're like, no, who's Patrick LeBlanc? No. I'm like,
so the best thing, this happens more than you think. It was the Manchester Power BI user group, and they had like some people like helping to give out food and whatnot. I guess it was a contract group that they brought in to like cater the event or something for alcohol and whatnot. And there was this really tall lady that I would argue, was she taller than you, Patrick? She was either your height or taller
than me.
Yeah.
She was definitely taller.
And she wasn't like, it seemed like she was not a native English speaker. Like she spoke English, but it wasn't like super great.
No.
She was just like, with Smith? Will Smith? I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. So, yes. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's better than saying Big Willie? Big Willie?
Oh. God, did you just say that?
Well, that's Will Smith, right?
Let's move on.
That's his thing, right? All right. Mustafa. I'm going to throw this question up there. I have no idea what this means. Maybe Patrick does. How to enable GRQD. I don't know what that is. Anyone know what GRQD is?
What did he say? No.
All right, moving on. Mufasa, if you want to resubmit it, I'll prioritize it. I don't know what GRQD is, so I'm sorry.
Look what Alex said. Hey, Alex, no search results found.
Yeah, Laura said GDPR. Maybe.
Oh,
maybe. You don't enable GDPR. GDPR is enabled on you. That's You don't enable it. Know. It enables you. Know. Yeah, I don't know. 404. Mustafa. Mustafa. He replied. Where is it? Why am I not seeing it?
What did he say?
So I see it in the chat, but there it is. Sorry, my kid pressed enter there. See for my question below in the chat. There it is. There it is. There it is. Sorry, I do see it now. Sorry, Mustafa. How do we do color by details in a tree map? Color by details. So you can do coloring based on do you have it?
Let's see if I've got it. Putting the tree map together, but I don't know what that means. Color by details.
Hang on.
I have a tree map.
Put it on your screen. I don't see it.
Oh, it's not on my screen?
No, I see a folder on your screen. I see a folder and there's a PowerPoint. There we go.
What about now?
Yeah. That's weird. All right, let's go to your sheet.
So I guess they want. Okay, I guess they want. You want something like right in there. So see the details.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
And so I guess he wants to cut. What?
Miguel. Based on category, but not
Miguel
detail, he thinks. The colors.
Yeah. So you can't do it. So the data color is going to be based on the category, not the detail.
Yep.
So this is my category, and then in the detail you can't color. I can color by category.
Right.
By group, not by details.
So what you're saying? So what you're saying is ideas.powerbi.com.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Miguel's there.
Miguel and
Miguel
Will,
saw it. You got it,
Thompson.
Miguel?
Will Thompson's there too.
Oh, Will's there.
You got the Power BI desktop team in the chat. Here we go.
There you go. There you go.
Tariq, thank you for becoming a member. Very much appreciated. All right, how are we doing? Let's move this along. We've been all right. Narav. How to enable use of data sources on Enterprise Gateway without giving admin privileges on the gateway cluster. Yeah, that is a huge ask. You have to be an admin. You have to be an admin to add a data source. So there's no way around that today. Yeah. So again, ideas.powerbi.com. Now, I haven't necessarily heard of enterprise customers asking for that specifically for any users, like to delegate to add a data source. What I've heard is that they want to be able to delegate for like a line of business or whatever to manage the data source once it's created, to like update the passwords if they need to without admins having to do it. But I haven't heard specifically about them actually being able to create data sources on their own, because admins tend to want to manage that a little better. So, yeah. Cool. That was easy. So Will had a comment about the color thing. He said it's on the backlog to apply conditional formatting for tree map colors. No ETA, though. Good to know. Good to know. I still... and he misses Pro Clarity. Don't we all?
Performance point.
Yes. And then just reinforces ideas.powerbi.com. So, yep. Oh, and Robert. So just want to soften the blow for a multi-part question coming to you soon. Okay. All right. Get it in quick. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Let's see if he hasn't asked the question yet. So my eyes will be ready for it. Whoop, not that one. We already did that. All right. Move that. Let's remove that. Miguel, is there any way to do incremental refresh in a model opened in desktop, not published? So, you're the incremental refresh guy. Do you want to answer that?
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you're about to say.
So incremental refresh, you define it in desktop, but the partitions aren't created in desktop, right? All of that happens once you publish it to the service. And so I was working with a customer, was it week before last? Which is actually what helped drive the video you did this last week, for the thing where they were trying to do it, and they didn't apply the range start, range end, right? So they had it for like a year, because they were saying, they're like, dude, this thing is like, it takes forever to refresh in desktop. And I'm like, why? Like, you should have a really small range in desktop so that you can model everything and then publish it to the service and then let it go wild. So yeah. Robert's a member. So good job, Robert. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. Thank you. I couldn't tell in the super chat if you were a member or not. So, cool. So incremental refresh, it applies the partitions after the full refresh is actually what creates the partitions once it's in the service. So that doesn't get defined in Power BI Desktop. So no. Anything to add?
Oh man, you got to watch these videos that I'm doing on incremental refresh. Got to go check them out.
It is next level.
Yeah. Even Christian had to chime in on on that last one I did.
Yeah. Yep. And Jessica was saying that the small range idea is cool. Rewatched our Christian Wave video. So that was way back when. That was at Ignite, what, 2 years ago? Yep. And that was right when it was first coming out. Yeah, that was for the aggregation tables, and then there was an incremental refresh, and yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, and then so the video that Patrick just did, that was where we were looking also as like how to avoid the full refresh, and it was it is not a business user friendly approach, so that it is more of a it's pro dev, yeah. So. Awesome.
And so I think we were helping someone get like 4 billion rows imported or something like that. I don't remember what it was. It was a lot of data.
Yep. So we're like, look, if the partitions don't work after that, then you got to do some custom partition scripting, which they wanted to avoid. And I'm like, yeah, you're in the pro dev area, man. All right. Last question before we cut over to members only. Placu, is there plans to include the ability to get users with app access, no workspace access through the APIs? So just apps, like right now, anything with apps are not API accessible. So being able to, publish an app, update an app, manage like access to the app, none of that is exposed. So I'm sorry. I'm not aware of plans. I mean, I know it's been talked about, but I don't know of any. Keep your eye on the, hey, Alex, can you drop a link for the release wave? Keep your eye on that and the Power BI blog. Did he?
He posted it already.
All right. See, he's on it.
He did.
That was my thing last week was like, I don't even need to use the hey, Alex command. He just reads my mind.
He did. He already posted it.
All right. It is time. Ooh, what? Stream settings have moved. Oh, there it is.
He's just so freaking good.
Yes. All right. It is time. We are cutting. Yes. Thank you. Well, because then he recognized the hey Alex command. So, all right. We are cutting over to members only chat. Members, feel free to get your questions in. Chatmaster C is doing it. Thank you everyone for watching. You can still watch the stream and enjoy the back and forth. Members are the only ones that can chat along with moderators, and the super chats always take priority. So excellent. We are in the zone, Patrick. So let me do one more thing here because our members are on point. All right. Let's go. Since Robert, you were giving us some love with the super chats. Let's start with yours. So part 1. Hey there. What? Oh my gosh.
It's a lot.
All right.
It's a lot.
Oh boy. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing there's like 6 parts there. Okay, he said he's done. So there's 6. Holy cow. All right, let's see if we can do this. I have 200 megabyte PBIX. Okay. The refresh time's out after 2 hours because we're not premium. There are multiple queries in the report being merged and appended. Oh, that's
it. Boom. That's it. Alex. I think Alex or Chris Webb. One of them. I know Chris helped me with a merge and a pin scenario. We did some stuff in Power Query.
Well, there's a video that you did too, wasn't it? There was a long video that you did with Chris.
Webb and I. Yes, that's the video you need to go watch. He shows you how to make that merge and a pin faster. That's likely your problem.
Hang in there. Alex is going to post a link to it in a second.
Yeah, he'll post. And Alex may already have something also that Alex is this Power Query guy also. And so one of them, between Chris Webb and Alex, I'm not. I stay away from Power Query as much as I can. So
You just heard Alex is now crying.
No.
Alex is crying. You just heard Alex's feelings.
No, he posted a message. He was like, Patrick, you keep doing your great Power Query videos. I'm like, Alex, they're not great, but it's talking about Power Query. So.
Hey, Alex, just a recommendation for YouTube links. Always remove the ampersand T equals so that they start at the beginning of the video instead of like the end of the video. Just to update the settings for Hey, Alex. So anyway, I'm going to go through. I'm just going to read these because Robert took the time to do these multiple parts. We're going to read it, make sure we're not missing anything else here. So part 2, I need to bring in year of data, whereas now I'm only bringing in 4 months. I've tried paring down the model by eliminating tables and unused columns. Good. Which I tried to identify using DAX Studio and Power BI Cleaner, but I think my method has so many relationships and DAX references that it didn't work well. It's hard to identify used. So Patrick, get ready with the, do you have the tabular editor EPA? I think he's muted because he was typing, but yeah, he's on it. Part 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hang on. Part 4. I then tried disabling auto date time per your videos. Excellent. But that didn't have a large impact, probably because you didn't have a year in there with 9,999. Now I'm trying to implement incremental refresh in hopes that I could avoid timeouts. That's a good place to go, especially if you're going from 4 months to 2 years. That's a great opportunity for incremental refresh. But I'm getting long gateway errors instead. Value invalid query locator. Okay. I'm using a Salesforce object connection. And I verified using one of Patrick's videos on incremental refresh and native queries that my queries are being folded and sent to server. Any tips? I don't know if the Salesforce connector actually folds, first off, so that might be a problem. The error specifically, it's
Is it an API?
Yes.
It may.
I don't know. But the gateway error itself, it's a generic error. Definitely, it's probably something with the Power Query itself that's just not able to, when you're trying to do the merge and append, it's probably blowing up. Tried doing a search on that error specifically. I would say like do a search on invalid query locator and just see what you find. You'll probably find some references. I was not, So Alex says the Salesforce native connector is simply a REST method.
It's a REST method.
Yeah. So it may fold. So the problem with the REST API stuff and folding there is like some stuff may fold, other stuff may not. Yeah, that's tough. Alex says there's an update on the release plan for the connector upgrades for Salesforce connector coming. So that's good to know. Yeah, that's tough. Robert, I would search for the error. Timing out at 2 hours though. What does it do? How long does it take in Power BI Desktop is usually a question I ask also. Like what's the total time this thing's going to take to give you an idea of how far it's going to go? Go ahead.
I'll tell you. So when we were when I ran into this, I was working on a COVID project, and it wasn't a lot of data. It was not, but we were doing lots of merges and appends, and it would take so long to get the refresh to be done. And Chris and I looked at some of the Chris Webb and I looked at some of the diagnostics in Power Query, and he was like, do this and do that and do that, and we cut the time down to a fraction. So the very first place I would start, honestly, is go watch that video we did and go look at the Chris. I think Chris has got a blog on it, to see if you can implement any of those steps to reduce the time, because the merges and appends are just traditionally slow in Power Query. And I thought Alex had something out there to talk about that, but maybe I missed it. Yeah. Look, it took 45 minutes in the desktops.
Yeah. So Alex and a few others are also on the data flows. Break it out with data flows and get those going first. Yeah. So. Yeah. Good suggestions. Robert, hopefully something there helps you. Keep plugging at it. That's a tough one.
There we go. Alex got Chris Webb's blog post. Go read it. Read that blog post.
All right. I cleared out all of those. All right. Burning Suit. How can I find out how much storage a data flow is using in my Power BI tenant? Because I don't think it shows up in
Matthew.
The manage. Hey, Matthew. because I don't think it shows up. Also, I just remembered we have a pre-submitted question we got to do.
So look what Matthew said. Look what Matthew said.
What did he say? You cannot.
You cannot.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bam. All right. There you go, burning suit.
It works. It works for Hey Matthew too.
It does. So Grammy, thank you for becoming a member, as well as Landscape Emotion. Thank you for becoming a member. Very much appreciated.
Landscape Emotion.
So the other thing you could do too is if you bring with data flows though, if you bring your own storage, then you have the ADLS Gen 2 storage, and you can check the space there to at least see what the raw storage is taking. But you can't do that inside of Power BI. So yeah. Yep. Cool. Let's see here. Kendall. Oh wait, no, we've got the pre-submitted. Kendall, coming back to you. We have the pre-submitted question. All right. So one of the perks of being the Cube Visitor or higher tiers, you can pre-submit questions, and so we've got one from this was the same person as last week, so I want to say it's Aladdin. So Patrick can resonate with that. When it comes to incremental refresh, what happens if the source of one of the tables in a SQL view, so we're using a view in SQL, and we add a new column to that view? What's the best way to handle that scenario? Patrick, go.
Do you need the column? That's the first thing. We talked about that. Do you care about
the
column, right?
Do you care about it?
Yeah. Yeah. You ain't never had a friend like Patrick.
True story.
And so, do you really? If I modify the view, if I'm the DBA and Adam is the guy who's building the Power BI reports, if he doesn't need the column, don't do anything, right? Yeah. It'll just work. Don't worry about it. If you need the column, we actually did some testing.
We did.
Adam and I did some testing on this. And if you're in the service and you just refresh, it just refreshes and it doesn't pick up that column. It's just not there. But if you're in Power BI Desktop and you click refresh, the column appears, right? And so if you want to deploy, if you need that column, and you can use the ALM toolkit if you have premium, then you can do a diff
or premium per
between
user.
The PBIX file. Or premium per user, thank you. You can do a diff between what's in the desktop and what's in the service. It'll give you that column. Then you can deploy that schema change out. But you will have to go back and refresh the entire model because that data doesn't exist. Power BI doesn't know about it. And if you watch the video I did last week, I actually show you how to do that very, very elegantly. Yep.
But yeah, first question is, do we care about it? So... Also, apparently,
do you care about it?
Will Thompson sympathizes with you on the Will Smith thing. He got that a lot too.
Oh, you used to get that a lot in school.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. He did caveat. He did call out that not that he looks like him. I wasn't judging. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So Dan,
I don't see the. I don't see the resemblance between myself and Will Smith. I don't see the resemblance.
I would say you're closer than Will Thompson.
Oh, yeah, but I still don't see the resemblance at all.
No, I can see where, like, if just casually glancing, like, I can get why it's...
Look at that. Look at that. Did you see that?
Whoa.
All right.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, Lord.
Thank you so much. Yolita, thank you so much.
Oh, bother. All right. So, Dan, thank you for becoming a member, buddy. So Aladdin did a super chat as well. So, tagging on to his question, he said, the way I usually deal with this is by deploying the changes using the ALM toolkit, and then I use SSMS to process the table. Spot on.
There you go.
You are a master. Good job.
Yes, you are.
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, bother. All right. Kendall. My organization is getting Power BI report server. Are there any great resources?
Oh, yes. My organization is getting Power BI. What on what though?
Sorry, Patrick
on
got
report
distracted.
Server or I did. on report server or building paginated reports, or what is it? What is it that you're looking for?
Yeah.
So Kendall. So if it's just on setting up and configuring report server, you can follow most of the same steps that come in any SSRS report server book. If you're looking to build paginated reports, that video that I did where Laura Graham Brown has some good step-by-steps on it. Chris Finland has a good blog post. I have some old videos. Adam and I have done some videos here. And then any book that Paul Turley writes on SSRS, you should get those books.
Hey, Alex, can you drop a link to the paginated reports in a day?
Oh, I forgot about paginated reports in a day.
But I don't know, Kendall, if you care about paginated reports, though. So you're probably more interested in the Power BI stuff because that's it's what people care about. So
yeah, because that's basically report server is just a superset of SSRS. That's all it is. And so all the stuff that you do with SSRS, like setting it up, scaling it out, configuring it, it's pretty much the same process. And if you want to know all about all the APIs and stuff, I just say, hey, Adam, and he can tell you about doing all that stuff with Kerberos and authentication.
Oh,
and
Kerberos.
Yep.
It's like Kerberos. It just works. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What the French toast?
Yeah. So. All right. Nick, for an RLS embedded data set, also chat's going off on the thing that you got distracted on, by the way.
Yeah.
For an RLS embedded data set, is it possible to combine roles? I have a role for each of our sites, but some people now need to see multiple sites. Currently, each rule looks like, equals site 001. The answer is yes.
What? Yes.
The answer is yes.
But I wouldn't try to. I would. Go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
No, go.
No, you go.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if you have multiple roles, so like say you have a role that like equals site 1, another role that's site 2, add that user to both roles, and they'll see both.
It's just dynamic RLS. Dynamic RLS.
No, that's not even dynamic RLS.
Well, if I have that table, so Adam site 2, site 3, Patrick site 1, I put it in my table and with their email address, and then as that stuff changes, it'll automatically update it, right?
I mean, that's a way you can do it. Yes. That's a way you can do it. But if you had multiple roles, you can add them. And it'll just work. Yeah, without dynamic RLS, that'll just work.
Right, and it just adds it up.
That also just gives me an opportunity to throw out that we do have a row level security course out there if you want to go check it out.
Yes, we do.
Patrick forgot about it. That was the course where we recorded the whole thing and we had no audio, so we had to re-record the whole thing again. That was this guy's fault. So you can go check that out. All right. Cool. Yes. Let's see here. Ben. Mr. Ben. You okay there? Do I have stories? So Ben, our shadow model AGS, the best method for maintaining a single hierarchy DIM table. We have direct query plus an import clone on top of a big DQ fact table at low grain and another small import table at a higher grain. So that is one way you can do it. There is, hang on. I'd say, hey, Alex, but I don't know. I want to see if I can get this before him. So sorry. Patrick may know where I'm going with this. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. Oh, come on, internet. So Ben, go check out this blog as well from Phil Seamark on filtered AGS. So that may be an approach as well, outside of actually come on. Seriously, Alex? Oh, wait, it's a different one. It was a different one. No. What the?
No, they're the exact same.
Mother. Why was mine a different? Oh, no, his was a different link. His was 1018. His was an earlier one, the introduction. Matter. I know.
He actually started at a better point. He started at the beginning.
But it has links to
that way. It could take him through.
Alex! It's like Sheldon's Wheaton thing.
I don't know.
I tried. I did try. All right. Alex's thing. Nice try. Oh, I specifically didn't even say anything because I was like, I'm going to get the one up on... But yeah, Ben, give that a look as well. So shadow models are a way you could do it. That's a deeper topic than what we're going to go through in this stream. It is a thing, though. But Ben, check out those blogs also. Phil did a great job. Those do not specifically use the aggregation table approach. So depending on what you're doing, and I have some insights into what Ben is talking about also. So be careful, test it, especially at the scale of the data that you're using. You know. All right. So Tony, thank you for becoming a member. Roberto, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Yes. Oh man. Ouch, Jessica. Ouch. Ouch. Speaking truth.
What'd she say? Give it up.
Truth.
Give it up. Give it up.
Speaking truth.
Give it up, dude. Just give it up. You're great at moderating and handling. Just let the links go. You cannot beat him with the links, man.
I did one time. I have the screenshot.
No, you never. No.
I have a screenshot.
No.
One time.
Okay. All right. If that makes you feel better.
All right. So Creamy. One of the new members. I'd like to initiate a JSON API call that includes a selection from a slicer. Nope. Tried all kinds of things and cannot get this to work. Tried define M parameter and DAC. Yeah, no, you can't do it. So the problem is that so this is the mindset, right? So you're oh gosh, you need a new camera, Patrick, so it does the autofocus. Oh my gosh. So the problem here is that you're thinking you're going to impact, because if you're doing this, you're doing import more than likely, right? So as you're interacting with the slicers, it's not calling back to the data source, right? So it's already been done as part of the refresh process, so it doesn't affect it. So there's just not a way to do it. And the M parameter thing is for specific data sources only, and it's specific to direct query, which a JSON API is not going to be.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And the M parameter thing, I know like Chris Webb loves it, and I'm still not on board with that just because it's so limited. I can't use it with SQL.
Look at my face.
Yeah. I know Will's there.
That's how I feel about it.
Will's heard it.
I'm doing it because Will's here. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing it.
He knows.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Wow, everyone's going, wow.
We're just going to pretend.
Chat's going bananas, by the way. All right.
Yeah.
Mumu? Hope I pronounced that right. How can I subtract previous month, measure, calculated column, values from next month's value?
No calc. Yeah. Create a calendar table in your model. Use time-based analysis, or you can write your own. Marco and Alberto has a great pattern on how to do all this. But if you just did something like you created two measures, one measure that did the value for the current month, and then you do like same period last month, and then you can calculate it that way. You can also use calc groups. But if you go, I wish I had a link. Alberto does a really good job of explaining it on the blog.
You're missing one of the features of the Guy in a Cube channel. Hey, Alex.
What? Hey, Alex. But it's not that difficult. Don't use the calculated columns. You can, but you can
do it in a measure.
Skip those intermediate columns by doing it in a measure. And then you could use variables to even make it faster. Yep. I wish I had a sample to show you here.
I know that
maybe I can.
Or Alberto or Marco, they've got a blog post, and I think I think Alberto did a video on it too. Actually, also didn't No, because the video you did with Alberto when we were in Manchester, that was more on like selective picking items in the list, not necessarily like the previous month thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that might give you an idea of how to do it. So check it out. Also, Will is responding. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Because you create a measure that just gives you, like if I'm doing sales, right? I create a measure that gives me sales. And then I create another measure. If you have a date table and you specify that it's such, you can say calculate sales amount, comma, and then you use like same period last month, provide the date from that date table, and then do the subtraction there. But then Alex just posted.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the necessarily the right thing. But yes, so Susan, thank you. So check out DAX Patterns too. They've got a ton of patterns on time intelligence there, and you may find what you need there. DAXpatterns.com. Check it out.
Yep.
All right, cool. Also, Will is responding back at you saying, no, it's Mo, not Will's team, for the M parameter thing.
Oh, okay, Mo.
And then,
Will,
Miguel also confirmed, because Miguel works for Mo. And he said, yeah, that's us.
Okay.
So yell at Miguel.
Okay.
You can yell at Mo too.
Miguel.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
You may get an email on Monday.
Other data sources.
Oh, they know. All right. Cool. Greg, how you doing, Greg? Since we have a bit of data flow Power Query theme going on this morning, can anyone say what the M story is? There sounds like there should be a meme there of some kind. What the M story is in Azure Data Factory and wrangling data flows, whatever they are. It's wrangling data flows. That's the Power Query Online stuff. I don't use it. I know it's there. I mean, the team working on like the data flows, the Power Query Online stuff there is also working. They do that as well. I don't know. Matthew may have more insight on that, or even Alex.
Or maybe Alex. Yeah, I don't know. Alex just posted something saying they rebranded it to Power Query.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know that. I don't know, guys.
Yeah. I don't really work with Azure Data Factory, so I don't necessarily stay up on that. So sorry. So finally naming parody. Yeah. All right, Michael. All right, so we got 5 minutes. By the way, I have a hard stop, so otherwise I incur the wrath of Chatmaster C. She will actually come up here and unplug the internet if we don't end on time. So Michael.
She can unplug the internet?
It's just right over there. She can go to the breaker panel and just turn off power too. That's one way to do it. Michael, can you do a special for data flow, Power Query, and expanding M universe?
Someone.
Sure.
I don't think we've ever had someone on just talking about Power Queries and data flows.
Matthew?
Just data flow. Matthew just talked about data flow. He talked just about data flows, but I'm talking about Power Query also.
You know who we should get? You know who we should get? I know who we should get.
I know who we should get.
I know. I think we're thinking of the same person too. Starts with an M.
I know.
Starts with an M.
My Little Ponies. My Little Ponies.
Yes. We should do that. Thank you, Michael, for the suggestion. I think we will do that. We'll reach out, see if he's up for it.
Yes.
Mr. Matt Mason.
No,
I know, Matthew.
You're the data flow.
I know, Matthew. That's what I was like. I was like, dude, what the heck?
No, not like, just data flows.
Oh, Nick also. Yeah. We can reach out to Ruth also. Mm-hmm. I've been meaning to do that, actually. Patrick reminds me all the time. Yeah. I've been meaning to.
I do. So
Nick, we'll get
all the time.
We'll reach out to Ruth, and then we'll reach out to Matt also. I haven't talked to Matt in forever. Most people don't even probably remember Matt either. I don't know. No. All right. One more question in the queue that I see. It's from Mumu again. So let's... any site on this feature coming, refreshing, scheduling, only a particular connection. I've heard that request before. I don't have any... I don't know that it's coming, though. I don't believe it's listed in any of the semester planning. So... ideas@powerbi.com.
Oh, if you have multiple connections in your model.
Yeah, I've also heard like selective refresh on tables as well. So yeah, just instead of like the all or nothing outside of incremental refresh. I don't know of any plans for that. Sorry. All right, Patrick, what else is on your mind? We got like 2 minutes. I don't have any other questions.
Oh man, somebody. I don't have anything. I really don't have anything else. I'm gonna go off and record this slowly changing dimension video. So it'll at least come out in 2 weeks instead of 9.
Yeah, because someone didn't record a video for this next week.
Yeah, my bad, my bad. My bad, man. My bad.
All right. Here's a we did Thomas in the under the wire here. Picture size limits. Like you want
images
limits, or you want, because I think there is a limit on the size of the image that you can put into the thing. Oh man, Robert in with another super chat.
No. He's just saying thank you.
No, I know.
He's just saying thank you.
I know. Focus on Thomas. Yeah. Ideas at powerbi.com, Thomas. Or yell at Will. He's in the chat. So.
Before we go, so there's a whole conversation going on. So, Alex, anything Paul Turley wrote, the recipes book, that I saw you post that question from Alex about resources for SSRS. Any of the recipes book that Paul Turley wrote, that's perfect resources to get started with paginated reports. But there's a whole thing going on with printing. I know you got to go. There's a whole thing going on with printing with Will and someone else in the chat. They're saying it's broken. It's not broken. That's how the expected behavior.
Yes.
Because it doesn't print the entire table. That's just expected behavior.
Paginated reports.
I'm not sure.
All right, Robert, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. All right, folks, it's time to say adieu for this live stream. We will see you next week, and we will work on. I'll reach out to Ruth, reach out to Matt, and we'll see if we can get some stuff on that front. So, have a great rest of your weekend. We love you, and we'll see you.
All right, see you, man.
Do you? Of course not. I do.